Welcome. I know it's been a long time since I posted any video, but I'm back. I will try to upload at least 2 videos per week and I will gradually increase that number. But right now I also have a lot of work to do. Anyways, let's dive into what we are here for. Okay, so in this tutorial we are going to implement Redis in its simplest form, a tiny fraction of what Redis is actually capable of. We will only be building 1% of its functionality, but that's enough to understand the whole concept of it. When most people hear about Redis, they immediately think about caching, and that's exactly what we are going to build in this tutorial. Redis stores most frequently accessed data in memory as key value pairs like this, which is why it is very fast. Whenever an application requests the data, it first checks the Redis. If the data is found, it immediately returns it. If the data isn't found, only then does the application fetch it from the original source. In our reg application, we will use Redis to store frequently asked questions and their responses like this. This way we can avoid unnecessary API calls and save a significant amount of tokens. When I said we are going to use Redis in its simplest form, this is what I actually mean by that. So we have our frequently asked questions saved in memory as key value pairs. So I will pass this key, exact same key, down to our reg application without changing or adding or converting it into embeddings. We will keep it simple. We are not going to use anything complex like threshold for now. We will save it for the next tutorial. So I will copy the same key. I will pass it down to our reg application. The reg application then check the Redis. If the data is found, the data is definitely there. So we will copy the response and display it on our front end immediately. Now let's suppose we don't have this data. We don't have this available in our cache. Now I will pass the same query again. This time the Redis has no idea about Abdul. So it will now hit the grok API key, and whatever response we get from our LLM, we will store it in our Redis and then display it on our front end as well. Now I will run a few commands in front of you so that you can get some hands-on experience with Redis and see how it works in practice. So first of all, we have to install the Redis. So I have Docker opened up. Now I will install Redis. To install the Redis image, the command is docker pull Redis. The Redis image is installed. Now I will run a container from it. The command is docker run d. D means run in the background. I will give it a name, Redis, and I will expose it to 76379. This is the internal IP address, and then I will expose it to our make IP address. And now simply run Redis. The container is running. Let's see. Okay, perfect. The container is running as you can see here. Now I will open this container in an interactive mode so that we can run few commands and see how it goes. Docker exec. This means run this container. IT means interactive mode. And I will give it a name, Redis. This is the container name here. And I will open up the CLI, the command line interface. Okay, so we are inside this Redis CLI. Now the very first command is to get all the keys available in our Redis. So I will type keys. The asterisk here means all. Keys all means give me all keys. So it says empty array for now. So I will, to create a new key, we use set. I will give it a name. This is the key name, and the actual value will be Samad. That is my name. It says okay. To actually see the key and its value, let's run keys asterisk. We have name key available now. To read the value of this key, I will say get name, which means Samad. Now let me show you one more command that is very useful, and that is actually to set x. This means create a new key with expiry. After a few seconds, it will expire. As you can see, it is suggesting some arguments that we have to pass. First, the name. First name. For how many seconds you want to keep this key. After that, it will be deleted. Let's see, 15 seconds. And I will give it a name. I will write my first name, Abdul Samad. Okay. Now I'll place this. Okay. And now, okay, now let's see how many seconds are remaining. So this one is passed already. It is already deleted. So I will run this command again. And now I will run this time to live. and define the key name here. So it says 9 seconds remaining, 6 7 seconds remaining, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 2 1. Okay, this means this -2 means the key is deleted now. Alright, so our container is running, and now I have opened up my VS Code so that we can write the code. This is the code of our reg application that we have created in our previous videos. You can find the link in the description. You can clone it and play it with yourself. I will create a new file, name it cache. Now I need few things. I have to actually communicate with the Redis container that is running. For that, I will write a few commands to actually talk with our Redis. Let's install the Redis itself. Okay, so Redis is already installed. Now I will import the Redis so that we can use the methods available. I will also import hashlib. This will help us to create keys for our reg application. I will define the Redis URL where our Redis is currently listening. I will copy this from Redis documentation. And now I will create a Redis client from URL. I will pass this URL right there. Now I will pass one more argument to actually decode our responses. It is actually available on their documentation. I will keep it true. Now we have created our Redis client so that we can create keys. Now I will write a new function to actually create keys. This will receive one argument, question. Now I will normalize this question because it can contain uppercase, lowercase, some special characters. It can contain a whole bunch of other things as well. So we have to remove these and make it a plain text with all characters either uppercase or lowercase. For this tutorial, we are going to convert all the text into lowercase and remove other special characters from that. For that, I will create a new variable, normalize. Now I will convert this question, a long string, into words. For that, I'm going to use a split method, split, and I will also have to join them using this method, join, and I will also convert them in lowercase. And I also want to remove all of the special characters from it, the most common ones only. For that, I'm going to use rstrip and I will define the special characters here. Now all of these will be removed from the question. I'm just writing most common ones. Okay, that's enough, and that's enough. Now I'm going to encrypt this question in a long list of random numbers, and that will serve as our key for our application. For that, I'm going to use this hashlib dot, I'm going to use SHA-256. I am going to pass this text, normalize dot encode, and I have to define the method utf at. Now this will give us an object, and I have to convert this into hexadecimals, hexadigest, and I will save this in a variable digest, and I will simply return this digest here. Now let's actually see this if it is working or not. I will say print make cache key. My name is Samad. Okay. Okay, so it is still returning this object. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to close these parentheses. Okay, perfect. So we get this string, encrypted version of our question, and we can use this as a key. Now let's actually create one more key, and my name is Abdul Samad. We will get two keys as well. Okay, perfect. If the question is same, we are always going to get same key. Now let's actually test it. I will say key O1. Okay, and I will define key O2, and the question will be Sam, like this. Okay, and print key. Now this will print true. True. Okay, we get this. True. If I change this, let's suppose. Okay, so we get the false because this question and this question are slightly different. We have this extra s here. So our make cache key is currently working. Now let's write a method to actually get the key. Okay, so we have our Redis client running. So why not let's try a few commands with it. So I will say Redis clients dot get. Okay, now first let's set. Okay, so it says name and the value. So for the name is going to be my first key, and the value is going to be anything. Let's name it Abdul Samad Gilal. And to actually read the value of this key we have just set up, we will use Redis client dot get. I'm going to define the key. The key is this. Okay, I'm going to print it. Okay, perfect. So we have this Abdul Samad Gilal. Now let's write a method to actually read the value of the key. Get cached key. It is going to receive the key, and we are going to read the key. For that, I'm going to use key get key. And now we have to return this. Perfect. And now we have also have to write a method to actually create a new key every time we get a response back from LLM. So I'll say cached key. To actually create a new key, we are going to use set method. Set is going to receive the name. Name is going to be key, and answer and value is going to be answer. Okay, perfect. So we have all of our methods defined here, and our cache file is complete. Now we are going to implement all of this code inside our main file. So our main file is responsible to combine all of our endpoints that we have just created. We have ingest to actually ingest our PDF into our vector database. This endpoint is responsible to actually find chunks for us. And this is the method we are going to implement our Redis here. Now we have to create our key based on this question. Now I'm going to create a new variable, cached key, and I'm going to use this method to actually create key for us. I have to import it from vector.cache, import get cache key. Oh, perfect. And now I'm going to use this method, get cache key. It is going to receive the question. The question will be Q right here. Perfect. Okay, sorry, it is not actually get cache queue. It is actually get cache key. Sorry, my bad. Now let's actually see if this key already exists in our Redis or not. I'm going to create cache key exist. For that, I'm going to use this method, get cache key. Okay, get cache key. Let's see what arguments is receiving. Okay, key. It is only receiving this. So I'm going to define key, and this is our key right here. I'm going to pass it right here. Okay, perfect. Now, what we are going to do if the key exists? So if the key exists, we just have to return the response. It stores. Otherwise, we will run this code. Okay. If I show you the diagram right there, if the key exists, we are going to simply return the value. Otherwise, we are going to hit the API key. So this is the code to actually talk with our LLM. So I will leave it as it. If cached key exists, I'm going to simply return this. I am also going to return the LLM response. This is stored in this variable. Okay. And I'm going to say cached miss, cache hit, true. Perfect. And if the key exists, we are going to return this. Otherwise, we are going to return this. Okay. So this is an error. I'm going to just name it properly, LLM result, and I'm going to type cached hit, cache miss, true. Okay. This code will only run when we miss the key. Otherwise, this code will run. Okay. Now let's actually test it. Okay, I forgot to add one line of code. After if we miss the key, if we miss this key, we are going to fetch the result from our LLM. And after that, we also have to store the key we are getting and the response from LLM into our Redis. For that, I'm going to use this method. This will create a new key for us every time we miss the key in our Redis. Set cache key. It is going to receive key. Key is going to be cached key. And the answer is going to be LLM response. Perfect. Now let's actually run our fast API and see if it's working or not. Now let's run this command. uvcon, our main file is inside this. Vector search engine, main app, and reload. Okay, so we get this error because our qt run client is not running. So I will run these as well. Okay, so our server is running. Okay, so I created a new API key. Now let's try it. Tell me something about Abdul. Execute it. Okay, perfect. So it says cached miss. Okay, so we have created a new key in our Redis. And now let's ask this again. Currently it says cache best true. And now it should say cache hit when we run this query again. Okay, sir. It says cache hit true, and we get the response very fast. And now let's try create a new key, Gilal. You see, it's taking some time to fetch the results, and it says cached miss true. And now, if I run this command again, the same question, the result will be very instant. We will see very fast response from it. As soon as I click it, you will see the response. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. You see, in the blink of an eye, you get the response back, and it should say cache hit. Okay, so it says cache hit true. Perfect. That is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. And in the next tutorial, we are going to actually implement threshold and other core features of Redis. That's it. Thank you very much for watching.